the ability of focus to keep us on track, I think, is very important in this world where we're off track a lot, primarily due to what we've touched on in some other programs here, the illusion that multitasking is a benefit. Multitasking to me means you're not focused on many things at any one time. What multitasking seems to do is distract us into segments. And the consequence is that if you're not present, you're not with the person. And the quality of presence is so powerful for us. When people talk about a speaker's presence, it's that intangible that is an attraction. So this multitasking thing, one of the consequences I've found is that we tend to lose contact with people because people take up too much time. Have you noticed that? So I'm sure I'm not the only person here who emails people at 3 o'clock in the morning because I know they're not going to respond. And then you get back that little message, oh, you're up late too? Or you call when people are not home, just so you can get that thing off the list. I'm coming home one evening, the phone's ringing, I rush in, I pick up the phone, I hear an indignant voice. She goes, what are you doing home? She says, I was going to call, I was going to leave a message on your machine. I didn't expect you to be home. So I said, Barbara, I'm here now. She said, I'm not prepared to talk to you. So Terry talked about 20th century. I'll talk about 21st century. I had to hang up the phone while this woman gathered her thoughts so she could talk to me. So I think this multitasking thing just takes away from focus. It's focus that brings us to presence. And people say, well, how do improv people focus when there's so much going on? They're so quick and all this stuff is happening. Improv players understand a technique. They're taught something called the point of concentration. The point of concentration is the smallest bit of information you need to have in order to keep on task. So in volleyball, what's the point of concentration? The ball. You stick to the ball, you pretty much will be okay. When you're speaking, what's the point of concentration? The audience. There's an intersection. When I think about what is the point of concentration for us, the point of concentration for us is that intersection between us and the audience. So you may have noticed or may not have noticed, after Karen left, I took a step, and I took about 3 seconds. My point of concentration was the transition into the beginning of my program. What happens for you as speakers in that 3-second pause is that audiences begin to lean forward. That builds presence. So improv people know that as long as they stick to the simple rule, the one word at a time, that's all you need to know in that game, you're pretty well set to moving forward. Really a powerful concept because there's so much else going on in our life. So the quality that we talk about is presence. The skill that leads to presence is focus. And the tactic that improv players use is called the point of concentration. Point of concentration is really helpful, especially at a conference when you have so many things going on. You know when you're talking to somebody that they're not present. You know, they're looking around. And for me, being a distractible kind of guy, well, it's not about never losing focus. What point of concentration allows me to do is brings me back to center, to home. It acts sort of like a beacon to light my path in the way that I need to go forward at this moment. And it occurred to me that if it's a beacon, I can never be lost, because you can't be lost if you know your way home.